I am just making some tea and just wanted to do a little life update because today I was supposed to be cleaning out my closet and doing a changeover, but this week has just thrown me for a curveball, and it was insane. So we came home from spending the weekend with my sister and her fiance and the kids, and we had such a good time. Came home feeling great. I sat down on Sunday. I planned out my whole week, had all of this stuff, all this content I was gonna record. If you can tell, I have a hall soothing in my mouth because I ended up having my throat Monday night started to get a little bit swollen. So immediately I started with the routine. I'm taking my liquid Tylenol. I was doing ibuprofen. I was drinking my teas. I was doing the gargling salt water. And I'm like, the last time my throat did this, I did all that and then I was fine. So I did that Monday night because when I swallowed, it was just irritating. It hurt. So on Tuesday, I just rested. I still did everything that I was doing. Just trying to get myself to feel better. And it kind of felt like it was going down, but then kind of felt like it was like up and down, up and down. So I was like, okay, we'll just see. So Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, I was tossing and turning. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Every time I laid down, I felt like I was gasping for air. So I got up Wednesday morning. I went in the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and my left side of my throat, my tonsil, was so big that the little dangly thing in the middle of my throat was stuck to it. Like, that's how close it was. Right side of my throat wasn't as swollen, but it was still a little bit swollen. And I think because it was so swollen on the side, when I laid down, it was compressing and touching the other side of my throat, and I was gasping for air because I couldn't breathe because of how compressed they probably were against each other. So I messaged Ken. I said I'm having trouble breathing. I think I probably need to go to the doctor. So I called the doctor to make an appointment and explained it to the lady that I was talking to, and she said, hold on, let me transfer you to a nurse. So she ended up transferring me to this nurse, and I'm explaining to this nurse like my symptoms, what I'm going through, and she said, well, from what it sounds like, I think you need to come to the urgent care. It doesn't open till 9. Well, it was around 8:37, so I was trying to get a hold of Ken, couldn't get a hold of him, messaged his work phone, and I called his work phone, and I said, hey, I need you to come take me to the doctor. So we go to the doctor. We're sitting there waiting. They go in. I have to tell them, when it started, my symptoms, my body aches, headache, all that stuff. And they do a strep test. And then they take me back, and I'm explaining it to the doctor that comes in and telling her all this over again. And she's like, let's hook you up to our heart monitor because your heartbeat is a little fast. And when they hooked me up, my heart was beating 132 per minute, 132 per minute, which is super high. When normally my heart rate is like, I think at rest, like in the 80s or 90s, or, it's low. So she's like, is concerned about that. My blood pressure was fine. So she says, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and look at your throat. Looks at my throat and says, yeah, your tonsils on that one side are really big. So they ended up giving me, they gave me an IV for liquids, which I think I was really dehydrated because it was hard to drink anything because it was hard to swallow. And they gave me that in an IV, which I have like a little scar on my arm from that. And then they give me some type of medicine to help with the inflammation. And then they give me a steroid that'll help with the pain and just kind of numb this area so when I swallow it doesn't hurt. And then they were taking blood just to like do all the blood work. And while they were taking blood, I think it was because I hadn't eaten anything. I was very dehydrated that like I felt like I was going to pass out. They said the color in my face went away. It was really bad. So I lay down. She wanted to do a CT scan because I said like going down my throat kind of hurt, just to make sure there wasn't like an extra cyst or something that was causing this. That came back fine, but it did come back that I had strep throat. So I started taking antibiotics yesterday. I'm on amoxicillin, and even with just taking it yesterday and then into today, my throat is like shrinking really quickly. And I think I still kind of sound like a little nasally and stuff, but I sound way better than I did yesterday. Like yesterday, I was talking like this because my throat was so swollen. Like I was barely talking. My throat hurt so bad because it was so enlarged. And I was like, this is crazy. I had just like all this stuff I wanted to do, and I just couldn't do it. So since today I was feeling a little bit better, I kind of cleaned up around our place, went downstairs, did some laundry, got myself dressed because, you know, you're supposed to be resting and taking care of yourself, but like I have been laying in bed for like the past 2 days, and like I was feeling so restless. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get up. I'm gonna get myself moving and just see how I feel. But it is just crazy because I feel like the last few times I've gotten sick, I've actually only had it like go to my throat. And I don't know why. For me, my throat is the most vulnerable place. And it's so funny it's because every time we go to Illinois, I come home sick. And I think it's because I'm around all the kids who are in school and they're always sick with something. And my sister's kids were actually sick when we went in. And I think I caught something from them because even my sister said her throat was swollen. But hers didn't get as worse as mine did. Hers actually went down. And it was funny because she messaged me a picture on Snapchat about like being in the gym, and I snapped her a picture about being in the hospital. And then I messaged her and said, yeah, I have strep throat. And then she said her daughter, I think she thinks her throat was irritated, but that went away, but she was like having headaches and ear infection and all that, so she was pretty sure they were probably going to put her on amoxicillin as well when she took her to the doctor. But I just couldn't believe it. Like Sunday I felt so good. Monday was fine all the way up until like probably around 5-6 o'clock when we sat down to eat dinner. I could tell that it was starting to happen. Like my throat was a little, big on this side. I could feel it coming on, and then I feel like because it was strep throat, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse until literally my throat was just gonna close up on me and not allow me to breathe. So it was insane. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because my plans for this week looked so different, and I did nothing but lay around and take care of myself, which I think was also good just because like you need to rest when you don't feel good. But now that my throat's starting to go down, I just wanted to get up today and get moving and just feel better. But I thought I'd just share that with you guys because sometimes, life doesn't go as planned. Sometimes your weeks don't go as planned, and sometimes out of nowhere, you get really sick and end up having strep throat, and that just throws you for a curveball. And then you have to do absolutely nothing. So I am here. Waiting for my coffee to cool down. It's actually at 141, and it's the temperature I want it at is 137. But I've been drinking tea, popping halls. I think I've been coughing a lot more. I've been sneezing and stuff. I think just because everything is opening up again. But I just thought I'd share a little update with you guys because, again, I had my whole week planned out. I had all this stuff I was going to film. I was going to try to do, reels and short form content, but nothing went the way I wanted it to. And instead of getting upset, I just told myself, you know what? It's okay. And we're just going to roll with it. And that's perfectly fine. So I hope you guys are doing good and aren't getting sick because it is horrible. I told Ken yesterday I was crying just because I just felt so much like crap. And I said I would literally be so happy to be sick with anything else, runny nose, migraine, anything else besides my throat because it was absolutely horrible. But I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to relax. I'm going to drink my tea. And I will talk to you guys again in the next vlog.